are you? Hello. Okay, it's Ibiza week in Miami, and so it's been party all over the place. Okay, we've been partying, we've been going out, but okay. So I started my live videos again. I know I was doing it consistently before for a few years, and then I stopped, traveled, worked, still working, and took a break from the live videos, from the inspirational live videos. So now I'm doing them again, and this time it's going to be consistent. Okay. All right. So I started talking about the benefits of a positive self-esteem. It's very important that we build our positive self-esteem, and that's why I'm giving you the benefits so that you know how important it is to build your positive self-esteem. All right, darlings, I talked about positive self-esteem 2 weeks ago. The benefits, I gave you a few examples of the benefits, and I said over the weeks I'm going to keep talking about different benefits of a positive self-esteem. Last week, I spoke about the benefits of a positive self-esteem in communication between couples. Today, I'm going to talk about the benefits of the positive self-esteem in a relationship with yourself. Okay? A relationship with yourself. How a positive self-esteem can benefit your relationship with yourself. It's very important for you to cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself. All right, it has great benefits for your life. I mean, the benefits are extensive. Okay, so it's very important that you learn to cultivate a relationship with yourself. But having a positive self-esteem encourages you to do that and helps you to do that in so many ways. Okay, so today it's all about how a positive self-esteem can benefit your relationship with yourself. And listen, relationship with other people is important. Relationship with your spouse, your mate, your friends, your colleagues, your children, your parents, your siblings, all important. But the relationship with yourself, the relationship you have with yourself is the ultimate relationship because it affects your relationship with other people. In other words, your relationship with other people is a reflection of your relationship with yourself. Okay? The kind of relationship you cultivate with other people reflects the kind of relationship you have with yourself. Okay? I'm going to read something to you first from my first book. Well, actually, this is my second book. The first one is The Depths of Life, and this, It's All About You, is my second book. So I'm going to read an excerpt from my book, It's All About You. If you haven't picked it up, pick it up from Amazon or my website, eeefy.com, 3esfy.com. You can download the electronic version, or you can go to Amazon. From my website, you can click the link to go to Amazon to buy the hard copy. It's a beautiful book, okay? All right, so let me read an excerpt so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, know yourself. Of course, you can't have a positive relationship with yourself unless you know who you are. In order for you to cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself, you have to know your truth. You have to know who you are. Okay, so in this book, on page 99, I talked about knowing yourself. Okay, understanding who you are should have a great influence on your decisions. Knowing who you are can be interesting and gratifying if you have a healthy self-esteem. If you have that positive self-esteem, then it can really be gratifying to know who you are. Okay, it will be pleasing to you if you actually know who you are, because you will do things accordingly. All right, knowing who you are can be interesting and gratifying if you have a healthy self-esteem. You spend less time on mundane concerns and more time nurturing yourself and pursuing your goals. If you know who you are, trust me, darling, you will not spend time on the mundane. And you will not go crazy over trivialities. There are lots of people that just go crazy over things that are meaningless, things that are insignificant. Why? Because they are struggling with identity crisis. So it's important to know who you are. If you know who you are, you will evade so many problems in your life. But when you find yourself less satisfied with who you are, when you find yourself less satisfied with who you are, it is imperative to reevaluate your life and perhaps seek therapy. Seek therapy. It's important for you to seek therapy if you are not pleased with who you are, and if who you are is causing you depression. Therapy would help you, because if you don't go for therapy, darling, what's going to happen is that you're going to eventually hate yourself, because I've been there before. I speak from experience. Okay, when I didn't know who I was and going through the excruciating struggles, I grew up with, God, darling, inconceivable struggles that were very excruciating, darling. It was all about self-deprecation. Oh, I'm not good enough. This is not good about me. I don't like this about me. I don't like that about me. Even when people look at me, I think they're looking at me for the wrong reason. So people compliment me, I think they have, wrong intentions. It was always self-deprecation. And darling, self-deprecation always leads to self-hate. Okay? So self-deprecation is usually the inclination when one is dissatisfied with oneself. When you are not satisfied with who you are, that's exactly what you're going to do. Self-deprecation and self-hate. But, it will hamper your happiness and deter your growth and success. Therefore, it is better and rather effective to pursue knowledge and build your self-esteem, leading to healing and growing to reach your full potential. When I discovered Eeefy, I tell you, my healing became quick. It took me so many years to understand who I am because of all the humiliation, the pain, the struggles, the condemnation, the rejection, all of the negative things I went through growing up as a child. My deficiencies, name it, was used against me. I was humiliated for them, for being different. I was, condemned, mocked at, jeered at. And so it took me so many years to discover Eeefy, to discover who I am. And the moment I discovered who I am, I started building my positive self-esteem. I knew it was very important. It was critical. It was imperative for me to build my positive self-esteem. And I did that. So building my positive self-esteem encouraged me to have a healthy relationship with myself. It encouraged me to cultivate a very healthy relationship with myself. Of course, it didn't take overnight. It didn't happen overnight. It happened over time because I kept learning from experiences. I kept learning from how people treated me. I kept learning from people's reaction towards me, towards the things I say or do, towards my kindness, my sacrifices. I kept learning. You learn through good and bad experiences. I kept learning through them. Okay? And so I learned how to take care of myself. I learned how to set my own boundaries. And that's because I built my positive self-esteem. If you don't have a positive self-esteem, it is impossible to even discover or identify the lessons concealed in every experience that you go through in life. It is impossible if you don't have if you don't have a positive self-esteem. It is also impossible for you to implement the lessons that you have learned from those experiences. So it's important to build your positive self-esteem. It is the key to life and success. It's a propellant to life and success. All right. So yes, pick up this book. It's all about you. It's on my website. It's on Amazon. It's a great read, great book, and great for gifting as well. Okay. Now there are lots of things. Listen, because you have a positive self-esteem doesn't mean that you're not going to encounter problems in your life. You're going to collide with problems, but when you have a positive self-esteem, then you're going to address those problems in a healthier way. Instead of wallowing in the problems, you're going to focus on seeking solution. You're going to handle them in a way where they don't depress you and they don't stifle your emotions, they don't hamper your happiness or deter your success in life. Okay, they don't cause you anxiety attacks and depression. I learned it firsthand. That's why I'm telling you about it. All right. I know that when people collide with problems, naturally they start to go crazy. They start to think about all the negative things, and blame themselves for everything. Even when the problem is not their fault, even when they've done everything possible to achieve that goal, even when they've done everything possible to complete a task, when they fail, they start to really get angry and hate themselves and look down on themselves and think that they're not good enough, and that's why things went wrong. That's not necessarily true. Okay, I want to read from my book, The Depths of Life. This is another inspirational book I wrote. Though The Depths of Life is integrated with high fashion photos. I've got 61 high fashion photos in this book. Beautiful, beautiful book. Let me tell you something interesting. I wrote the first edition of this book 2010 and published it before I went to Nigeria to work. And I self-published, and I didn't do much with the book because I went away immediately after I published it, and I was in Africa for a few years working, doing youth and women empowerment programs, consulting with the federal government, amnesty programs and all of that. So when I returned to America, I said to myself, I'm going to edit this book and take new pictures and republish it, and this time really promote it, because lots of people need to get their hands on this book. It's life-changing. I'm telling you, it's very powerful. So during the pandemic last year, and of course I went on with other projects, I've got lots of things that I'm doing. During the pandemic late last year, I decided to take the photos for this book, for the new version of this book. I'm telling you, of course, the pandemic, we had a lockdown, so you couldn't find makeup artists, you couldn't find hairstylists, you couldn't find wardrobe stylists, nothing. But I said to myself, you know what? It's okay, Eeefy. You're going to do your own makeup, you're going to do your own hair, and you're going to dress yourself up. At least you have, a wild closet, okay? So I was able to find a photographer who was willing to work with me, even though, we are on lockdown, and it's pandemic, okay? He accepted to work with me. And he said, but what are we going to do? We can't find a makeup artist, we can't find a hairstylist. I said, don't worry about that, darling. Eeefy got herself covered. I'm going to work through it by myself. So I went through all the styling, makeup, hair. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, we did this shoot for like 3 months. It took us 3 months to shoot thousands of photos, and I only needed like 61 photos for this book and a few other photos for my website. So I think out of the thousands of photos, I selected probably about 70 photos out of thousands of photos, okay? But it took us 3 months. We worked maybe 3 days a week. We'll have 3, 4, 5 looks, depending on how strong or how tired I was that day. So we did a shoot. It was amazing, and I was like so excited. I go, okay, the Depths of Life is going to come with beautiful photos, showing my narrative looks, beautiful fashion. Of course, you all know I love styling. I'm a style icon. I love fashion. Fashion is my life. So I got really beautiful, beautiful pieces. I put them together, styled myself. In fact, my web builder came and helped us out a few times, and he became my executive stylist. Like while I'm on set shooting the pictures, he would come and maybe fix my skirts or fix my hair. I mean, things that he didn't even know how to do, he was managing to do them. And my photographer would come zip my dress. It was funny. These men were working extra to get Eeefy's work done. Okay, they were so excited to do the work with me, and we did it. We made it. Okay, so if you see the photos, you'll be so proud of what I did on my own. Styled, makeup, hair. I did everything by myself. You'll be so proud of me. Okay, so when you pick up this book, you will get to enjoy those pictures. I mean, look at this. They are just so stunning. I mean, I have these pictures. They are so stunning, different looks. Okay, all right. So I'm going to read from page 3 about confidence. Okay, which is what you need. Confidence is a forceful element that drives our dreams, our goals, and our interactions with other people. So it's very important to build your positive self-esteem. When you build your positive self-esteem, it's easy for you to express yourself confidently and to advance confidently in the direction of your goals, and even in your relationship it helps a whole lot. Okay, so I'm talking about people wallowing in the problems, when they collide with problems, the problems that diminish their confidence. Instead of trying to seek solutions and rebuild their confidence, they just give up because they think they're not good enough, or they think they deserve these problems. It's wrong. Page 3 of The Depths of Life. The Depths of Life is also on my website, eefy.com, 3efy.com. And if you want, listen, the electronic version also has the photos. So whether you download it on your phone or you buy the hard copy, you have the photos. But I always advise the hard copy because it's a magazine size. It's written on the format of a coffee table book. Okay, so you can actually use it to entertain your friends when people are waiting for you at work, in the office, at home. They can be going through this, and it's a life-changing book. Okay, because you have problems does not make you less of a person. Instead, those problems should make you a better person if you think below the surface to understand their root cause and learn to deal with them effectively. When you have a problem, the solution to your problem lies within that problem. So you have to understand the root cause of the problem so that you can now address it from the cause of the problem. Okay? It is certainly true, some of the problems we collide with stem from our own mistakes. Yes, sometimes the problem comes from our mistakes. But that does not mean we have to beat ourselves down when we falter. No one is infallible. Remember what I always say, there's a treasure concealed in every negative experience, every positive experience. Every mistake, condemnation, rejection, failure conceals a treasure for you. And that treasure, Eeefy is talking about, means the lessons in that problem, the lessons you're going to learn from that problem, I call them treasures of life. Okay, there is a treasure to be found in every mistake we make. So seek it, find it, understand it, learn from it, and employ the lessons you learn in your future activities. The Depths of Life. Oh gosh, I love writing inspirational books because I'm not into ghost writers, because the things I write about are real issues. Okay, they are serious issues, and it's all about my singular opinion, my singular non-judgmental opinion. So I don't like other people to write my thoughts for me. I like to express my own opinions myself in my own words. Okay, so that's why I enjoy writing the books myself. So that when you read my books, you're reading my thoughts. It's like you're expressing my essence, not what some other person thinks or some other person's opinion. No, my opinion. Okay, I'm not saying that I know everything or that I have all the answers to all life's problems. No, but I want to provoke you. I want you to think about new perspectives. I want to inspire you. I want to encourage you. And I know that when you read my words, my opinion, that you are definitely going to be inspired, encouraged, at least provoked. If not for anything, provoked to think about the problem, because a lot of us don't think, and I want us to start thinking. It is only, through thinking that we can actually solve the problems that have real solutions. Okay, so you need to learn to, coming back to the topic of today, how a positive self-esteem benefits the relationship you have with yourself. Hello, darling. Igoraya Riches. Hello, how are you? Hello. What's that? Kafaro. Hello, how are you? Hello, darlings. Hello. Okay. So if you have a positive, self-esteem, it will encourage you to cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself. But the healthy relationship with yourself will also help you to cultivate a healthy relationship with other people. You would know how to relate, with other people. You would know when to set boundaries. You would know when to cut ties. When it's necessary, you would know how to do it without going crazy. Okay? You would know how to communicate with other people in a way where it benefits you and them. And if it's impossible, if you're not in alignment, if you're not on the same wavelength and who you are and what you do, even your sacrifices don't resonate with them, they can't appreciate them, you will know when to walk away. Because it's one thing to learn to tolerate other people's excesses, but it's another thing to learn the limits of your tolerance so that you don't plunge yourself into darkness by condoning other people's overbearing excesses. I learned it. I learned it from friendships. I learned it from relationships with siblings, with people, strangers. I learned to do that. The reason I recognized that is necessary and learned to do that is because I am in love with myself. I fell in love with myself. I built my positive self-esteem, and I know that it's my responsibility to nurture myself and protect my peace of mind. Okay, and I know that the relationship I cultivate with other people is a reflection of the relationship I have with myself. All right, if you have a bad relationship with someone, it's because there's something in you that needs to change. Either you need to redirect your attention, walk away from that person, or change something in you that is actually destructive to the person and to yourself. Okay? If you have to stay in that relationship, then there's probably something within you that you're going to have to change in order to move forward with that relationship in a healthier way. And sometimes it's not that you need to stay, you probably need to go. And listen, a lot of people have a problem with moving on when it comes to do with a family member. I said, no, darling. Because you cut off from them doesn't necessarily mean that you don't love them. You can love a person from a distance. You cannot love someone while you are in pain. You cannot, have a close relationship with someone that causes you pain, that stifles, your emotions, that stifles your spirit, that humiliates you, cuts you down, trash you whenever they deem it necessary for their own selfish reasons. No. So if you find yourself in that kind of relationship that I call a toxic relationship, it's important for you to move on. Whether it's your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, I'm sorry, you're going to have to, no, I'm not sorry. You're going to have to move on. Love them from a distance. It is healthier for you to love them from a distance, because that is the only way you can actually be happy yourself and pursue your own goals and enjoy a meaningful life. So it's very important to have a healthy relationship with yourself. If you have a healthy relationship with yourself, you'll be able to appreciate other people's love towards you. You'll be able to recognize it and nurture it for continuity. Yes, but if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, then I'm sorry, you will not be able to recognize other people's love, sacrifices, kindness, and care, towards you. Why? Because you have limited identity. Okay? Because you have limited identity. So it's important to discover who you are. Know thyself. Like I said in my book, know thyself. Understand who you are, your strengths, your weaknesses. Once you understand that, then you would know who is who is able to coexist with you, who is able to appreciate you while you're appreciating them, and who does not belong in your world. Okay? You would know what you can tolerate and what you cannot tolerate. If you don't know who you are and you don't have a positive self-esteem, then you're just going to just take on every baggage thrown at you. You will take on every nonsense people throw at you. You will take it, absorb it, and then it would unconsciously influence your life in a very negative way. Before you know it, you're plunging into oblivion. You don't want that. Okay? You do not want that. So it's very, very important to build your positive self-esteem. It's very important also for the kind of relationship you can have with your mate. If you know yourself, for instance, even when you have a problem with your mate, because you know who you are, because you have a positive self-esteem, you would focus on solving that problem. And you're not going to pick on every triviality. You're going to pick a fight over trivialities. You're not going to be eager to fight with your mate at every little thing just because, you just want to fight. But if you know who you are, you have a positive self-esteem, trust me, even when your mate is the one doing you wrong, you will address it in a healthier manner. Why? Because you love yourself, and so you want to enjoy a healthy relationship with your mate. You will do all that is necessary, all that it takes to continue to build that relationship, in a healthier way. Okay? You know how to build the bond between you and your mate. Why? Because you have a positive self-esteem, you know yourself, you know what you want. Knowing yourself helps you to know what you want and what you don't want. Now, even, I know a lot of people, most people that hate themselves not only because of what people say about them, the negative things people say about them, but also the things they don't like about themselves. This is what I've learned to do. Before, there are things I didn't like about myself, but then I realized that no, those things, those deficiencies, those flaws, yes, those limitations are there for a real purpose. Okay? They're elements of my growth. They are supposed to encourage me to develop myself. They're supposed to encourage me, they lend me new perspective. They're supposed to encourage me to understand the world around me. Because when you understand your flaws, then you understand how to use those flaws, or how to conceal them, or how to, heal them so that they do not cause destruction in your life. I've learned to integrate my good and bad qualities and make them work for me. I've learned to do that. And that's what we all have to do. You cannot, condemn yourself just because you have flaws. If there are habits that can be changed, you work on changing them. If there are permanent, flaws, probably like somebody like me that, as a burn survivor, I've got scars. I've gone through skin grafts, series of skin grafts and laser to remove those scars. 4th degree burn. So I sustained like really serious, deep scars. Okay, I've gone through skin grafts, I've gone through laser. The best doctors in Beverly Hills went through lots and lots of money, and these doctors in Beverly Hills and this type of surgeries are very expensive. The cost, is enormous. Been through all of that, but I still have some of those scars left. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to kill myself just because they can remove all the scars from the burn. What if I died? At least I'm lucky that I'm still alive. Okay, so I learned to embrace those scars, knowing that they are going to be there for life. Maybe if some miracle, with advancement of technology, maybe with some miracle, there will be a new method of removing scars from 4th degree burn. Okay, so maybe some kind of miracle will happen in the future. But guess what? Eeefy has moved on. Eeefy has moved on. I've learned to love myself, love my scars, see them as part of me, see them actually as part of my destiny, that I was afflicted so that through my pain others can heal. That if probably I didn't have the scars, or if these things didn't happen to me, I may not have been a good person, because excuse me, I'm so beautiful and so perfect that I probably would have been a bitch. No, okay, well, not a bitch, but a good one. I probably would be like really a mean person, but no, I think, well, I may not have been, but you never know. But I think, these scars and these flaws and these deficiencies, they in a way humble us. They in a way make us human. They make us be more sensitive, think about how to be more compassionate and empathetic. You know what I mean? So the things that happen to you, the scars, the flaws, your deficiencies, they are there for a real purpose. So you need to recognize the purpose, okay? I recognize the purpose of my own scars. I recognize the purpose of my own flaws, okay? I recognize them. I learn to integrate my good and bad qualities to work for me, to achieve my full potential. I'm not, that girl that is always, hating herself like I used to hate myself. I'm not that girl that is willing to listen to nonsense from other people and their crap. I'm no longer that girl that wants to take all the negative opinions from other people and believe that this is who I am. No, I'm not that girl. I dismiss the nonsense. In fact, I don't even acknowledge them, because nothing and no one is significant unless you acknowledge it, okay? So I don't even acknowledge things that I deem insignificant, and I deem stupid and silly and necessary. I do not acknowledge them, okay? So you have to do the same. These are the things that a positive self-esteem can help you accomplish. If you have a positive self-esteem, then you know not to associate yourself with people who bring you down. If you have a positive self-esteem, you know that in order for you to cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself, that you're going to have to surround yourself with people who appreciate you, people who appreciate your sacrifice, people who appreciate your smile, people who appreciate your hard work, your efforts, people who appreciate your talents and what you serve to society, people who appreciate what you serve them as well. I've learned that. And I'm telling you, I constantly implement the things that I learned. The lessons I learned, I implement them. If I have to cut you off, I cut you off. I do not hesitate. If I have to block you, I block you. I don't hesitate. If I have to say no, I say no without hesitation. Because I know at the end of the day, it's about my peace. And if I don't have peace, then I can't give peace to the world. You cannot give what you don't have. You only serve the world what you have. You only serve your friendships what you have. You only serve your goals what you have. You only serve your career what you have. You cannot serve what you don't have. So in order for you to serve something good, you're going to have to be and give yourself that something good, and from that you gave. Okay, it's from within and projected into society. It's not from society, into you. No, it's the other way around. What you see in society is what we give to society. Okay, that's what we give. This, the country is just a geographical location. We make it significant. So whatever problem you complain about society comes from you as the person, as the citizen, as the individual, because you are society. I am society, we are society. So what you don't want to see and feel, then do not give it. All right? Don't give it. People want perfection, but they don't understand how to actually build for the perfection. They don't understand how to make efforts, how to contribute to the perfection. People want to have a beautiful relationship with you, but they don't understand their own responsibility to achieve that. They don't want to contribute to achieve that goal. They don't want to make efforts. They don't want to do anything to achieve that beautiful relationship they so desire to have with you. And I say, whatever you want to take, you be ready to give. All right, darling, be ready to give it. Make sure you have it. And you cannot have it to give unless you build your positive self-esteem and cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself. You need, I'm going to keep emphasizing this. I don't want to be redundant, but I have to emphasize it for emphasis reasons. You have to build your positive self-esteem so that you can cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself. You cannot enjoy a healthy relationship in your marriage unless you can cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself. You cannot enjoy a healthy relationship with your siblings, with your friends, with your colleagues if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself. You would not be able to set boundaries when necessary if you do not have a healthy relationship with yourself. How can you know when and how to set boundaries between you and the people who do not appreciate you? How can you know the limit of your tolerance when you're dealing with people who just want to throw all their bullshit at you? Okay? Yes, we all have bullshit to throw. But darling, there's a limit. And people must learn the limit. If you want to have a healthy relationship with someone, then you must understand the limit. You must understand the limit. And if you want to have a healthy relationship with someone, then you must understand the limits of your tolerance so that they learn to reconsider or to reevaluate what they're offering you or what they're serving that relationship they have with you. All right? So it's very important also for your career. If you have a positive self-esteem and a healthy relationship with yourself, then you're able to pursue your good goals. You make healthier decisions. You're not going to just, copy other people or do what other people are doing just because, it seems right. Because they're doing it and it's working out for them and it seems right, doesn't mean it's for you, and doesn't mean it's, part of your destiny or your journey in life. A lot of us that do what other people are doing, we're doing it because we don't know who we are. We're doing it because we don't, because we're struggling with identity crisis. We don't really know what we want and what we don't want, what we're supposed to be doing and what we're not supposed to be doing. We do not know our own talents, our own true talents. Because you know how to do this doesn't necessarily mean that's your real talent that will actually, propel your success in life. Haven't you seen people that work so hard, yet they have no money? Sometimes it's not because they're not doing a good job. It's probably because they're in the wrong career. It's probably because they're, working in the wrong environment. It's probably because they're focused on the wrong things. Okay? It's probably because they're doing what their friends are doing. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, something that is within their purpose as an individual. All right? So it's important to have a positive self-esteem. It is important to know yourself. Like I said in my book, Know Yourself. It's all about you. Pick up this book from Amazon. Visit my website also, eefyshop.com. When you go to 3eesfy.com, eefy.com, you see my shop. You can go to my shop and see all the beautiful things I design. And, if you want to just go straight to the shop, you can just Google Eeefy shop, 3eesfyshop.com. I've got t-shirts, jewelry, exotic leather bags. My bags, were cultivated from farm-raised, exotic skin, okay? Farm-raised crocodile, farm-raised stingray, farm-raised lizard, farm-raised snake, not from the wild. There's a difference between, the wild animals and the ones raised in the farm. So, just to help with the society and our environment, I decided to focus on farm-raised products only. I only do exotic leather because I love, exotic leather. I love high quality. I love premium quality. So I focus on exotic leather, but most importantly on farm-raised exotic leather. So when you buy my bags, you know that, it's not from the wild. It's from the lab, okay? They're real skin, but the animals are raised in the lab and not, and not taken from the ocean. All right. So you find beautiful things for men and women in my website. And darlings, please join me every Saturday. I know I said I will do this every Friday at 1 o'clock, but for other reasons, I've got this project. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm inundated with work. There's only some evenings when I'm not tired after work. I'm like, okay, go out to eat or see what parties in town and just go network and return back home, back to work. And I work with different countries, so my time is a little off. That's why since I started it 3 weeks now, instead of Friday, doing this video on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so but maybe I continue to Saturday 1 p.m. What do you think? Or just take it back to Friday 1 p.m. But please join me. You will see the video on my Instagram, on my Facebook, my YouTube. I'm trying to build my YouTube now. So if you're not on my YouTube, join my YouTube. 3E's FY Eeefy. Of course, my name is so easy to find. I know uploading on Instagram, there's a limit to how much video you can upload, and my videos are 30 minutes. I used to go like 1 hour, 2 hours before. Now it's like 30 minutes. So I think for Instagram, IGTV is probably like just 10 minutes, but now I'm live. So let's see how much you can upload when I'm off. But darlings, it's very important. I'll continue to talk about the positive self-esteem because, a lot of people are depressed because of this reason, because, identity crisis, and, self-hate, okay? Not loving themselves, not able to have a good relationship with themselves because of their flaws, or because of what their friends say, because of what society say, because of what their spouse, their mates say, because of what neighbors say. Darling, come on now. These people's opinions should have no bearing on your life. So I don't know why, their talks and their opinions are affecting you so deeply, so negatively. Yes, I was there. So I'm speaking from experience. I said, no more. No more will, some sibling tell me I'm not good enough, or talk about my flaws to bring me down. When somebody say, oh my God, I love Eeefy, she's so beautiful, I love her style. And then some sibling or some friend look for a way to say something negative. Oh yeah, really? Well, but there's this about her that is wrong. There's this about her that I don't like, this, that. Honey, it's their problem. The war is within them, not within me. If you don't know how to say, oh yeah, or oh good. If you have to say something negative, to smear on my reputation, or to demean me, or to just dismiss whatever compliments they're giving, darling, it's got nothing to do with me. The war is within you, okay, not with me. So you have to learn to do that. You have to learn to not worry or give any importance to other people's negative opinions, all right? And make sure that you know the limit. You know the limit to your tolerance. You know when to walk away. Sometimes you need to walk away. It doesn't matter whether it's your sibling, your friend, your neighbor. You need to walk away. And if it's your relationship, if it's not working out, if it's stifling you, if it's causing you depression, anxiety, you're hurting, and you've gone to therapy, it's not working out, or your mate doesn't want to go to therapy, then it's time to move on. You should not dwell in a toxic environment. It's impossible to live to your full potential. It is impossible to be happy and enjoy peace in a toxic environment. It is impossible to enjoy peace, to pursue your good goals, where you are in a relationship that is so toxic and so repressing. It is impossible. Do not say, oh, if I leave, I won't be able to find somebody better than him or somebody better than her. No, darling, that's what you're thinking, because, when you are emotionally stifled, your judgment becomes distorted, okay? Your vision is not clear. All right, so that deduction is just from unclear vision, from the confusion in your head, from all the toxins that is all over you. So don't say that. You will always find someone who will appreciate you, as long as what you're serving is positive, as long as you know who you are, you have a positive self-esteem, and you have a good relationship with yourself. You always attract someone who will coexist with you, in a peaceful way. Somebody you can call your ideal mate, who is in alignment with you on the same wavelength. Someone who can love and be loved by you, who can love you and be loved by you. So no, don't tell yourself, I won't find somebody better. Let me stay here and suffer. No, nobody deserves to suffer, okay? It's not good. It's not good for you, for your mate, and not good for the children, if you have children involved, and not good for your career, not good for people you encounter along your way. All right? So fall in love with yourself, build your positive self-esteem, develop emotional maturity. Emotional maturity, when you have a positive self-esteem, it's easier to develop emotional maturity. Some people call it emotional intelligence. I call it emotional maturity. It means the same thing. Emotional maturity helps you to know your limit and when to say time up, time up, time out, or time up, time out. It's enough. It's time to move on. Emotional maturity helps you to make healthy decisions at the right time. Emotional maturity helps you to even ask for forgiveness when you're wrong, because you know you love yourself and you want to continue to enjoy peace in that relationship. So when you are wrong, you know when to say you're sorry. That's emotional maturity. Emotional maturity helps you to say, listen, baby, something is not right. Let's talk about it. Emotional maturity is when you want to sit down and communicate issues so that you can resolve problems and not allow them to escalate. That's emotional maturity. Hello, darling. Oh, you got a copy of my book. Awesome. I'm waiting for, please give me a feedback on the website. I want to know what you think about the book. Thank you, darling. So emotional maturity helps you to make healthy decisions between, healthy decisions in many aspects of your life. When you are emotionally matured, you know when to say, okay, this friendship is not working out anymore. I can't add value in this person's life, or they don't add value in my life. So, we don't need to be friends. You know when to say no to certain friendships. Emotional maturity helps you, lets you or allows you to decline, when people offer you things that you know will not benefit you or benefit your journey. You know when to say no. It is emotional maturity. Because if you don't have that emotional maturity, you say yes even to things that will bring you problems. You say yes, to things that will cause you the same problems. You will give away everything that you have, because you're trying to impress and please. Listen, I've been there. I've made sacrifices. I've, taken loans for people. I've done all kinds of things to help people when I didn't know who I was, when I just wanted to please and impress and please and please and oh gosh, Eeefy. Please them, help them to make them happy. And guess what? It was a one-way street. They didn't care about pleasing me. They didn't care about appealing to me. They didn't care about making me happy. They didn't care about my well-being. They didn't care about me being nothing. They just cared about themselves. It was a one-way street. Emotional maturity taught me to say, okay, Eeefy, it's going to be two-way street and nothing. Especially people that are very close to you, okay? If they cannot appreciate when you make the sacrifices, if they cannot respect you, if they cannot respect you, if they cannot be grateful, if they're going to constantly show you ingratitude, then cut ties. Stop making the sacrifices. That doesn't mean that I change who I am. That doesn't mean you're going to change who you are. No. Continue to be the good person that you are. Never change who you are. Continue to be the good person that you are. I'm always going to be a good girl, a kind-hearted girl, a generous girl, one that can, easily make sacrifices for people. But I've learned who, where, and when to make those sacrifices. I've learned how to do it. I've learned to set boundaries. I've learned, because guess what? The worst thing is to make sacrifices for people and then start regretting it. The worst thing is to give things to people and then regret doing it. The worst thing is to give support to someone and then regret supporting them. The worst thing, I'm telling you, especially all these people with limited identity, they are the ones that actually cause this regrets, this anger, this frustration. There's no blessing in that. So you want to be happy making sacrifices for someone. You want to be happy, you want to be pleased with the sacrifices, the kindness, the care, the generosity. You want to be pleased with yourself, because it is that pleasure that you feel that actually activates that heavenly blessing. It is that pleasure that you feel that gives glory to God. It is not even the service. It is not the gift. It is not the act. But the pleasure you feel when you do it, that is actually what gives glory to God. Because God looks at your heart. Are you happy doing what you're doing? If you're happy, He's happy. Okay? It is that pleasure that activates all the good things that will come in your life. It is that pleasure that will evoke good luck. It is not the anger and frustration and, regrets. So I've learned that instead of me to do and feel regrets, it's better I don't do at all. Instead of me to do and be angry afterwards, feel no pleasure at all, then it's better not to do it at all. I'm sharing this, information with you because it's very, very important. Sometimes we don't know why certain bad things are happening to us. They're happening to us because we do things and then we don't have pleasure in the good things that we've done. And so what we do is we, spread negative energy, and the negative energy can only generate more negativity. But when you feel pleasure in the good things that you do, that pleasure that you feel, what it's going to do is to just spread positivity around you. Okay? And that positive energy, that positive, that high frequency will only attract good things to you. Okay? I know also from my experiences, there are lots of good things I have done in my life. And when I find myself in trouble, when I find myself having problems, just, I don't know, from nowhere, you call it miracle, I find help. Good things, like the problems just get solved out of nowhere. I'm like, whoa, how did that happen? I didn't even know what to do. But it is because of all the good things I've done, all the sacrifices I've made for other people, the pleasure that I derived, that I felt at the time I was doing them, that evoked all these good things that are coming back to me. And I also realized that the times I have felt, regrets, doing good things or making sacrifice for people, I realized the negative energy around me, and I knew it was not good. So I learned the lesson firsthand, it's better not to do it at all than to do it and feel displeasure. It's better not to do it at all. I've learned that. So what I've learned, I'm this kind of person that if you're around me, I'll take care of you. It's who I am. I'll take care of you. I care about you. I care about your I would notice, I would notice the fluctuation, in your emotions. I would notice the switch, the ups and downs. I would notice it. And I will worry. And I will question you. Especially as a public speaker, I love to talk about things. I want to talk about them. So I will take care of you. So I will share your problems with you. I'm that kind of person. So I now know that since I'm that kind of person, it's better for me to surround myself with people who actually are grateful people who actually appreciate, people who actually love me and respect me. When I make sacrifices for them, then there's no need for regrets. I will feel pleasure, and that pleasure will activate blessings. Not necessarily from them, giving back, but somebody else giving back because of the pleasure I felt giving to someone else. All right? It's not necessarily that the person that you give will give you, but it's important that the person you give has appreciation, gratitude, respect, not feel entitled, not be ungrateful, not be bitchy, not saying, oh, well, so you did it, so what, big deal, if you did it, somebody else will do it. Yes, these are people with ingratitude. These are wicked spirits who will say, oh, if you didn't do it, somebody else would have done it anyway. Oh, yeah, oh, you did it. No, it's not you, it's God that did it. God only just used you. These are words from wicked spirits, and I've encountered them. Okay, I've learned that. Then you do for them, they say no thank you. Oh, thank you, God. No thank you, Eeefy. Yeah, it's good to be grateful to God because God created Eeefy, but hello, I'm a human being. Say thank you. Show gratitude. Be appreciative. Don't say, if I didn't do it, somebody else would have done it. Then why did you come to me anyway? Why did I have to do it anyway? You could have gone to somebody else. So these are the things you learn to address when you build your positive self-esteem and you cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself. You know the limit to your tolerance. You know how to walk away. You know how to set boundaries. You know how to put people in their place. You know how to choose, your friendships. You know how to choose who to, interact with, on a daily basis, and who to love from a distance. You know how to do that. I learned to do it, but I learned it from experiences, okay? Everything you read from my book, darling, you can feel that they come from experiences. I'm a master at what I do. I'm not a teacher. I'm a master because I come from experiences. So when I speak to you about these issues, you can actually hear and feel it, that I came from experiences, that I know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? It's not from some books I read or something somebody said or some imagination. No. From my own experiences or experiences of people around me or people I counsel, because, I'm a life coach. I counsel people, So I know firsthand. I know these things. So I speak to you because we all go through these things. You know, we all encounter these issues, these problems. We're going to continue to interact with people because, you know, it's a part of our lives. Okay, it's a part of life in general. So you continue to interact with people. You will have siblings, you will have parents, you will have colleagues, you will have associates, you will have party buddies. You learn to interact with them when you know who you are. You learn to interact with them more effectively when you build your positive self-esteem and cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself. You will learn to interact more effectively. Okay? When you build your positive self-esteem and cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself, you will know to pursue goals that are necessary for you, to pursue a career meant for you, to do things at your own pace and a healthy way. I'm not trying to copy other people or be in a hurry or be angry, you know, or hate yourself because you think other people's lives look better. No, it is from your own point of view. You don't know what's happening behind closed doors. You don't know what they're really going through. You don't know their challenges. You don't know, the rejection, the condemnation, the failure, all the things they're going through. Because they're not showing them on social media doesn't mean they don't exist. Because they look so beautiful on social media and look perfect and nice hair and nice clothes and nice car and nice house doesn't mean their lives are perfect. It is perfect from your own point of view, from what you see, from what they project, from what they display. That's where the perfection is. It is not really perfect behind closed doors, okay? So get over that illusion, it's all a mirage. I said this before in many videos in the past. Somebody's life looks perfect to you because they have learned to conceal their flaws, or because they've learned to deal with their problems in a way where it's not affecting them in public. Because they have learned the act of projecting perfection. Because they have learned to take control of their problems and not allow the problems control their emotions, where it's now, affecting their interaction in public, or it is now transparent, in public. Do you understand? So it doesn't mean they don't have problems. It doesn't mean their life is perfect. It doesn't mean they have everything they want. It doesn't mean they've achieved all their goals. It just means what it means. The art of projecting perfection. They've learned to control their emotions. They've learned to control how the problems affect them. They've learned to be happy no matter what. They've learned to be happy and learned to be peaceful no matter what. Knowing that being unhappy or being angry is not going to solve the problem. It's not the solution. It will only compound the problem. So because they have learned this, they've acquired this knowledge, and they are actually displaying them in their lifestyle. They are actually implementing them in their lifestyle, and you are seeing it. So you decide that their lives are perfect, or you decide that they don't have problems, or you decide that everything is okay. No. Nobody's life is perfect. And also remember, I said that in my book, in The Depths of Life. Perfection is a reflection of an individual's perception. That's what perfection is, in my singular opinion. Nothing is perfect. A reflection of mankind. Perfection is a reflection of an individual's perception. It is what you see perfect that is perfect to you. There is nothing perfect. Because that thing that you see as perfect, somebody else may see as flawed. You may say, oh, I love Eeefy, she's so perfect. Somebody else will say, oh no, I don't like this about her, I don't like that about her, I don't like the way she talks, I don't like all her accents. I don't like, her outfit, I don't like her hair, I don't like what she does, I don't like the way she lives, I don't like, she's too flamboyant, I don't like this. They'll find something to say. And all those things is actually what you love. So to you, Eeefy is perfect. And also not because Eeefy doesn't have, or there aren't character traits, that you don't like in Eeefy. You probably have seen things that you don't like in Eeefy, but because there are more things that you like in Eeefy, you've learned to overlook that one. You've learned, let me tell you something. When you say this person is perfect to me, it's not because everything about them is perfect or is outstanding. Everything is like there's no flaw, they're infallible. No, no, no. It's because you can actually tolerate the excesses. It's because you can actually support their flaws. It's because whatever flaw or deficiency they have, you see it as nothing, inconsequential. That's why that person is perfect to you. All right? So that's why it's important for us not to so much worry or not to worry at all other people's negative opinions about our lifestyle or who we are. As long as we're not imposing on them, as long as we're not hurting them, we're not directly inflicting pain on them. Excuse me, hello, darling. What's your problem? Why is my lifestyle hurting you so much? It is not me. The problem is not me, darling. The problem is within you. The war is within you. It's not external. It's got nothing to do with Eeefy. It's got to do with you. It's got nothing to do with Antonia. It's got to do with you. It's got nothing to do with Paul. It's got to do with you. So you have to look within you to solve those problems. The moment you solve the problems within you, your environment will change. Oh yes, darling. You want to change the world? First change you. Then your perception of your environment, your vision will be clearer. It will be different. Okay? It will be different. See, now there are people I can actually love now. Why? Because I've learned to love myself. So I know how to love them from how I love myself. I know what I love, what I enjoy in them, and because I want to keep enjoying it, you know, I also make sure that they keep enjoying what they love in me. It's a two-way street. You can't just be all selfish and say, oh, I'm tolerating him because I enjoy this, I enjoy that. No, I'm tolerating him because I enjoy this, I enjoy that, and he also enjoys this and that in me. We're both having fun. That's why I'm in the relationship. We're both having fun. That's why I can tolerate all these other little things. We're both happy. We're happy together. Okay? You cannot be happy together unless you're happy alone. Don't say, he will make me happy. No, he will contribute to my happiness. He's an icing on the cake. I'm already happy. Don't say, oh, he will complete me. No, you have to be complete on your own. He will just come and be a partner. He will come and nurture. While you nurture him, he nurtures you and you grow together. Don't wait for someone to complete you. That's why I teach the art of detachment. Don't be detached to things and don't be attached to things, material things, and don't be attached to people. I learned that many years ago. I'm not attached to anything and I'm not attached to people. I can walk away anytime from anything, and if it's giving me problem, I walk away. Peace, it's very important. For me, peace is more important than even money. Of course, money pays the basic necessities that can help us to continue to enjoy peace. But you see that peace, money cannot give you the peace, but you can actually gain that peace without the money, and then the money will just help to sustain it. Okay? So I've learned that. And I've also learned that if I'm attached to material things, that I would not achieve my full potential. I've learned that if I'm attached to people, then they can easily steal my peace and my joy. So I am not attached to nobody and to nothing. I just enjoy my time with them. I make sure they enjoy their time with me. And when it's not working out anymore, and I try to make it work out, it doesn't work out. It seems, or it proves impossible. Darling, I'm again must move ahead. Forward ever, backward never. I move on. I've moved on from material things. I've moved on from people. And guess what? I'm happy. Because when I look back, I realized that they were just nothing but obstacles, unnecessary obstacles. So I'm sharing that information with you so that you learn the importance of building your positive self-esteem. So that you learn the importance of cultivating a healthy relationship with yourself so that you can look after yourself. You can enjoy peace within you. You can enjoy your own company. If you have a positive self-esteem, then you will know how to spend time with yourself. Because spending time with yourself gives you the opportunity to fix things that needs to be fixed. Gives you the opportunity to discover your great qualities that you didn't even know existed. Gives you the opportunity to think, to conceive good ideas, to pursue your goals, gives you the opportunity to learn new things, gives you the opportunity to understand your strengths and your weaknesses. You must learn to spend time with yourself. You can only do that, and you're only able to do that. Spend that quality time with yourself when you have a positive self-esteem. Some people spend time with themselves, but not really with themselves. They just spend time alone. That doesn't really mean spending time with yourself. They stay at home, just stay there watching TV or crying, depressed, thinking, all the negative things, all the things they don't like about themselves and other people in the environment. That's not spending quality time with yourself, because everything is negative. Spending quality time with yourself is spending time to know yourself, know what you want, think about where you're heading, create goals, conceive ideas, explore your imagination, think about the friendships that you have out there, their meaning, if they have meaning. Think about your goals, if you have to reevaluate them, your actions. This is spending quality time with self. Learn to do that. If you do that, darling, you'll be able to evade depression, anxiety attacks. I've gone through that depression, anxiety attacks, fear, name it. Like I say, I had a very terrible childhood. Terrible, excruciating struggles, name it. Hunger, homelessness, name it. As a teenager, I went through it all. So I know the consequences, and I know the importance of avoiding them, and I know how to avoid them, and I'm sharing that with you because I've been there already. Do you understand? So when you cultivate a healthy relationship with yourself, I'm going to just keep emphasizing on that. You will not be suffering depression and fear and anxiety attacks. You will not be suffering humiliation. You will not be suffering the effects of negative opinions, because you will not even absorb them. You will not absorb, let alone process the information. Okay? You will know what you filter and what you take and what you implement and what you discard. You will know. All right, darlings, I love you. Remember to visit my website, 3easfy.com. Pick up the books. Life-changing, amazing. The Depths of Life. Pick them up. Holiday period. Give them to your friends, family, loved ones, birthday, Valentine. Great for gifting, because very inspirational, encouraging, thought-provoking, life-changing. I love you all, darlings. I love you. Thank you for joining me. It always inspires me when people can actually appreciate the efforts that I make. I'm doing this because I know it is also part of my journey to serve humanity, and I can only give what I have. So when I, acquire this knowledge and this wisdom, I'm eager to share. I'm eager to share because the intention is always to heal. The intention is to inspire. The intention is to encourage. The intention is to heal, is to help others find a path to healing, just like I found a